Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Ken. Welcome back to the channel. So tonight we have a very impromptu review and first look at the AE light gun. For those of you guys who are not familiar with it, it is another light gun using IR technology, which is infrared. Currently, it does support some of the things for Retropie. It has been tested out with a number of emulators. And my guest joining us tonight is Retro Lizard, who has been experimenting with his. I don't have mine yet, so he will be doing a brief tutorial and review on some of the features and his first look and first take and his thoughts on how this light gun works. So, Retro Lizard, you there, man? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
man, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You're coming in. We see you playing Rambo. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about the gun and what are your first thoughts about it right now?
So this gun is the AE light gun from Arcade Europe by Andy Devine and his crew. This is fantastic, man. Um, I didn't know what to expect or what my thoughts would be on this gun initially by setting it up. There was a lot of criticism behind this gun that I see now through the groups,
Right.
especially with the Indiegogo and what happened with Sinden. Nobody really wanted to back another gun. But then I seen it was released, and I'm like, okay, I got to try this gun out. So this gun is excellent. It doesn't feel like I'm playing with an aim track or anything. It's got two sensors.
Uh-huh.
So I got a sensor here and I got a sensor here. Initially, I put the sensors up top, like the instructions say. But
Hmm.
my HVAC is right here, and I think it was messing with it. So I couldn't get a good calibration on it. So I'm like, okay, let me try the sensors down low. So I put the
Right.
sensors down low, and I stepped back about 6 feet from my TV, and I hit the calibration, and it worked. And let's drop this down. The tracking on it, I don't know how well you can see the mouse,
Yeah, we can see it.
but the tracking on it is real nice. There's a little glitch here and there. If you're too close or too far back, you definitely have to be about 3 to 4 feet back from your TV to play. But that's nothing out of the ordinary to me. With the aim track gun, I have to be about 5 feet away from my TV. With the gun for IR, I got to be about, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet maybe, 3 feet at the earliest or the
Right.
lowest maybe. And then sending gun, you have to be about 2 to 3 feet back too. So if this gun only has to be about 3 to 4 feet back from my TV, this is a 42 inch. That's not
Let's
bad.
let me see a little bit of that gun. Is there a light up LED on the side of it?
There is right there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. My HVAC is about to kick on. If it gets loud for a second, I apologize. My
Okay.
air conditioner is kicking on right now. But here's the gun. There's only buttons on the one side. This is all black. I don't know what kind of plastic this is made out of, but there's a nice rubber material right here for the grip. And this gun
Right.
feels good. It feels real good, actually. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I
so
got a TV remote made out of the same material.
it's almost like it's Kevlar, you know.
Right.
But it's playing fantastically. I just got this set up. Maybe about an hour ago. I had to upload a whole new PC and my build to a whole new PC and then set the gun up that way. And this reads very similar to the sending gun and any other gun and the gun for IR. It has a gun ID to it. The gun
Right.
ID is 8037 for this gun. I don't have a second gun, so I don't know what the second gun ID would be. All I had to do was just change the main. Sorry if I'm blocking the view. All I had to do was just change the main controller in my main to the controller ID, and I was playing main.
Oh,
And then I
sweet.
had to set my what do you call it? My dual shooter. I had to set the GUI, and then all the rest of my games are up and playing. And this is reading as a raw input with TechnoParrot.
Oh,
Because I
nice.
have TechnoParrot for Aliens Extermination.
Have you played around at all with the mouse settings on Windows PC? If it
Say that
needed to
again, I'm
move,
sorry.
did you need to move around any of the mouse settings or adjust the sensitivity of the mouse settings on your PC for it to calibrate with the gun?
No, not at all. Not at all. And there's no software with this gun either. The calibration is right there. I don't know if
Oh,
you can see
nice.
that. Yeah, calibration is right here. Hang on, let me turn my light on.
So what do you
There.
do? You just point the gun to the TV and hit the button, or what?
Yeah, you point the gun to the TV, I don't really want to calibrate again. But you point the gun to the TV, you click the calibration button, and then you get 2 points. You get a point here, and you get a point here. You just shoot the 2 points, and then you're calibrated. And as long as you're tracking, you're good. It took me a couple tries. It did take me a couple tries. I'm not gonna lie. I was calibrating, and it wasn't hitting, like I said, from the top. And then even when I moved it to the bottom, it wasn't at first. I was having a little trouble with the calibration. It took me about 3 tries before I actually got it. But that was me. That was my user error on my end. I had to be a certain feet back, and I had to stand, basically dead center of my TV because the 2 points are right here and here.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the PlayStation 3 playing Time Crisis 4. It had about 5 different calibration points on the screen.
Right, and that's exactly what Andy was telling me about, that he was comparing the calibration to, is that he just wanted it to be like a PlayStation 1, like Time Crisis. Click, you're done. That's it. He didn't want to mess with any software. He didn't want any software running. He wanted it to be as simple as possible. And it really is. My curiosity really is, now that I have this calibrated, is this calibration going to carry over to the Pi? So that's my question. I'm not going to be able to mess with that until tomorrow because I got to rehook the Pi up to my TV over here. Because I got the PC going.
But, yeah, somebody's asking, how does this work with the lights in the background? It doesn't have force feedback.
How does it work with what? I'm sorry?
How does it work with bright lights, and does it have force feedback?
Oh, I don't know about force feedback, but the brightest light I have is my bulb right above me, and then I have my my LED lights back here. I'm not being affected by light at all. So it's just like the gun for the IR sensors. I don't want to compare it to the gun for IR, but it's basically almost the same thing. If your gun for IR is not affected by the light, then these sensors aren't going to be affected by light either. There's no sensitivity to that at all. Same thing with the aim track gun. The aim track gun has no sensitivity to the light. At least I never experienced that.
Yeah. I was telling Retro Lizard earlier, when I first started using the Dolphin bar, I noticed that there were connectivity issues when I had my laptop near my somewhere near my arcade cabinet while I was doing the review. So I know, like, sometimes other electronics can affect it. And then also too, if you have the lights off in the room, that could also affect performance, or even having your cell phone near you can affect performance. So Retro Lizard, have you seen any of that yet, where you've had obviously I see you have your desktop there, but maybe your cell phone near you, if it's affected calibration or performance?
Yeah, we're right on the cell phone right now, so that's what I'm using for the video, and just a little bit here and there. I'm going to get a little bit of glitch on the TV, maybe a little lag from the tracking a little bit on it. Right. But as you can see, the tracking right now, it's everywhere, man. It's going right there, so you can see the little right there is messing it up. That's probably from my camera though.
Yeah, I don't see that drag effect that you normally get with some light guns, where the mouse is dragging across the screen.
And it doesn't feel like you're dragging this across the screen either. That was another thing that I was really worried about. Is this going to drag like the aim track gun or the Dolphin bar? I really felt like I dragged those when I played with those guns. And it was almost a turnoff not to play with them. And that was really the only thing on the market about a year and a half ago, because we were waiting on Sinden to show up.
Right.
And now these came out. And you can see how fast the trigger response is. It's really nice. Just banging away.
Yeah, Mr. Laura, both of the gun guys are both named Andy. You have Andy Sinden, and then you have Andy from AE LIGHTGUN.
Yeah, right. Must be Andy must be a very popular name over there in Europe.
Yeah. But if you guys are just tuning in, yeah, Retro Lizard did do some gameplay on the Pi, just a little bit. It did work. We can't equivocally say that it really supports the Pi 4 or Retropie. I did talk to Andy about that, because a lack of understanding in the community is, to say something works on PC or Retropie is really a blanketed statement when all the emulators are actually doing the work. So you have to test every emulator with the hardware to really make a conclusive statement as to whether or not it's fully supported or not.
Exactly. And I only tested, I tested on Pistolitra last night, but I only tested Alien 3, and it was like midnight when I did it. I didn't test any other game, and it worked off the bat. It was a little clunky, but it still works. You know, I definitely needed some kind of better calibration going on because it's really hard to calibrate over the Pi because the Pi doesn't have a mouse. So you can't see where you're supposed to calibrate on the TV. So now that I'm calibrated on my PC, you know, I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that it will transfer back over.
Yeah,
and if it does, that's going to be amazing. If it does, that would be a game changer.
Yeah, now that would definitely help. I know one of the other things that you can do. Well, he said he didn't have to touch mouse sensitivity, but I know in RetroArch when you're going through the Pi settings, you can see the mouse. I'm not sure if that really helps. I know it's not an actual calibration screen, but I mean it does give you.
I couldn't see it. I was
really? You can see it.
I was trying on PS1 with Time Crisis, and I was switching it between Pointer and GunCon to see if I could get the mouse to show up, because it does show up with the gun for IR when I was playing with it, but I couldn't get the show up with this gun. Maybe because the calibration was off, it wasn't popping up on a TV, or I don't know. And you could do the reaction to this gun is fast.
Yeah, that's like a nice little setup there.
This is new competition in the market right now.
Yeah, which game is this again?
This is Virtual Cop 3 for the Xbox.
Oh.
Thanks, Ray.
Is this the only what was it, maybe one or two light guns for the Xbox?
I think there's only 2 light gun games, Silent Scope and Virtual Cop 3. And so far we only got Virtual Cop 3 working. I never tried Silent Scope.
Yeah, and I think Xbox 360 only had the Buck Hunter game.
Right. And PlayStation 3 had a few games, but I don't have PlayStation 3 running. I tried attempting to get that to run, but I couldn't get it to run, so I just kind of gave up on it. It's a really hard one to emulate.
Yeah. And also too, make sure you guys check out Retro Lizard's YouTube page. It's Retro Lizard. So give him the support because he does a lot of work. He's not like some of these other guys posting bogus reviews.
No, you know what? I really like doing the raw videos, especially like we're doing right now, because you know this is live gameplay of this gun,
right?
And this is what people need to see. We don't need to see videos that are chopped up and put together and trying to get fancy with it. You know, we need to see videos that are straight up raw.
Yeah, we don't need to see edited videos where people are bouncing back and forth between a PC and a Pi.
Exactly. And you can randomly hear the keyboard chime.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, I'm going to plug the gun in now. And the chime? Since when does that happen on a Pi?
Oh, I know, right?
So, you know, and I'm pretty much, we're live right now, and I'm still going around testing all my games just to make sure that this just works. So I'm just going to keep on playing with some of these things here. I have no issues so far, though.
Well, we know at least what works for PC. I think, a lot of people with this is just plug and play, insert your controllers. But, most of the major questions, which really won't be answered as of yet, is, can I get this to work with Retropie? That's always the biggest question, because PC is, it's PC. You plug it in and, you follow the basic directions and, you should be good to go. But the challenge is Retropie and understanding where files go. And
that is always the biggest challenge. Always. And like I said in my post for my other video, when I posted Alien 3, the configs that I did with the gun for IR on your image, they worked with this gun. And I don't know if it was just because, I'm pretty sure it was just because it was mouse input. That's why it was working. But they still transferred over and worked. This is also this has the Arduino board inside it. Maybe that has something to do with it, because the gun for IR has the same thing in it.
Mr. Laura, he's about 6 or 7 feet back, and I think this is a 32-inch TV.
Actually, right now I'm about 4 feet back, and it's a 42-inch TV.
42-inch TV. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm only about 4 feet back from the TV. So, because the camera's about 4 feet back too, or about 3 feet back. So, when I'm playing the game, here's my arm.
So yeah, I had did a brief video on the aelightgun. I mean, I had no idea who the company was or anything. I just saw the promotional advertisements for it, so I did a video. And yeah, there was some, some negative comments, some backlash. I mean, again, I didn't know anything about it too much, but yeah, I mean, it seems to be performing well. I mean, for me, I just want something that plugs in and works. And I think I don't care about stuff being a light gun or a true light gun. I think we all just want something we can pick up, point at the screen, pull the trigger, and it does the job. We don't care about how it works. We don't care if it's Bluetooth. We don't care if it's infrared. We just want something that's accurate and reminds us of that arcade experience.
We want something reliable too, you know.
Yeah.
And right now, I can say that the AE light gun and the gun for IR are probably the two most reliable guns on the market right now. Sinden, Sinden is Sinden. Sinden is very reliable on the PC. We all know that. You know, when it comes to Pi is hit and miss with certain things with the Sinden gun. You know, that's a whole other conversation in itself. But in my opinion, I think the two most reliable guns and the two most guns that are readily available right now are the gun
Right.
for IR and the AE light gun. The AE light gun, I ordered it 10 days ago and I got it. It came from Europe. Gun for IR, you can order one from Ray directly to have it modified, and you'll have it within 10 days too, if not less. You know, those are the two most readily available guns on the market. Aim Track is in and out of stock all the time. It's always on eBay,
Yeah.
but nobody wants to pay more than what the actual price is for the gun on eBay, obviously. But yeah, I think these are the two most. I think these are going to be the two most readily available and guns on the market, and I think people are going to have a lot of fun with this AE light gun. I really like the LED.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was looking at. I mean, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like that.
That
was a nice touch.
You know what? Too bad that wasn't an ammo counter.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, that would be cool. Oh, that would be so cool. He has there's a sight that he's coming out with to put on the gun too. It looks like one of those, you know, Call of Duty. I don't know the name of the sight. One of those Call of Duty retractable sights with a little red dot on them. He's coming out with one of those and should have that ready in a couple of weeks too. And he's going to have the recoil versions coming out very soon too. They're building them right now. So, and this is a company too, the AE light gun. He's doing this out of pocket. So the Indiegogo, I don't really know what happened to it. I don't know if it failed or they cut it off, but he put this into production on his own. So
yeah, guys, and also keep in mind too, there is a Facebook group supported for this gun. It's called AE Light Gun. So they do have a Facebook group if you guys have questions. And we're going to continue to do more tests. I believe I have one on the way as well. But yeah, Retro Lizard, one of the things I would hope you do is make sure you do some tests in like absolute darkness with no lights. And then also put your like cell phone near it, like near the TV, because I do know that just creates different variables for operation. I just want to see if there's any type of signal interference.
we could try that right now, actually.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Let me pull that off. Hang on, let me put the gun down.
Yeah, and I wonder, can you change the hardware ID somewhere on there too?
I don't think you can change the hardware ID because there's no software unless you figure out how to flash it. All right, we're darkness right now in the basement, and it seems to be working fine.
Like if you go to your PC on Device Manager under USB plug and play, I wonder what type of, if it shows like a UID or something that pops up there. When you go to Windows, go to Windows Control Panel, and then you go down to System, and then is that it? No, I'm sorry, wrong one. You go to Windows Control Panel, then you go to Device Manager, and then you look at your USB inputs.
Oh, the Device Manager.
Yeah. And then you look at your USB bus controllers, and then you hit right click and then properties, and then see if it gives you a particular readout. I mean, I don't know how many USB devices you have plugged in. I got like 15 of mine over here. So
I only have the gun. I only have the gun, and I have my keyboard and my mouse. So I only have and my Wi-Fi adapter.
So that should be pretty easy. So under your USBs, you should see the actual device, what it's registering at as on your computer. Does it give you a readout?
No, I think it says Series C26 chipset family USB enhanced host.
No, that's probably just the reader.
Everything
Okay.
just says everything just says USB hubs and USB root hub. I have an extension controller 1.0.
Right click on it. I would right click on one of those, and then once you right click on it, then go down to properties.
Okay, I'm in the properties right now.
If you're on the one for the gun, just right click on it and then go to properties, and then it may give you some type of readout for it.
Yeah, no, it's not really giving me anything at all.
Okay.
Could be in the wrong spot though. What about sound and game controllers? No, that didn't show up.
No, it wouldn't be one of those. All right, cool. All right, well, we could check that later. That's something I was just curious about, just right off of the bat, to see, what it would actually read out as. So I'm always interested in that. Hooking up stuff to like my Chrono Zen and Titan 2.
Right.
Seeing what the actual driver is. Like, it's really interesting because like you could go out and buy a Microsoft controller that looks like an Xbox One controller, but it'll say generic USB driver. Some will say Xbox, something will say PC controller. So even though it looks like an Xbox 360 or Xbox One PC type controller, it's one of probably 5 or 6 types of devices.
Right.
So anybody have any more questions in the chat? I know Mr. Lore had one a little earlier. Someone was wondering about Police Trainer. Does that work? Yeah, you can play Police Trainer. Yeah, that's real easy.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, wait, real quick. Does this work with Redream?
I don't know. I don't have Redream set up. I don't have any Dreamcast games on my my PC LIGHTGUN build at all.
Yeah, so do you think it might work considering it kind of works like the Gun 4?
I think it will, yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't. Considering that it's been working over anything. Yeah, considering that it's been working over everything so far, I don't see why it wouldn't be working at all, actually. So let's do Police Trainer real quick, and then I'm gonna have to call it real quick too for the night.
Yo, definitely, I understand. Yeah, we appreciate all you guys logging in really early. Again, this was really impromptu. Of course, make sure you hit the notification bells because I hardly ever do live stream, but you always want to be ready over here for me. And he was playing Rambo earlier. He was playing Techno Parrot, Thomas Wave games. He was playing a number of different games here for demonstration. So, he wasn't just using a MAME emulator and giving you guys a look at it.
I'm never good at this game.
And then also too, when that new game comes out, was it Bang Bang Pew Pew? Yeah. That should also be fully compatible as well.
It should be, yeah. It works. It's a mouse. I was playing Mad Bullets earlier with it too. So all the Windows games work. Mad Bullets works. Heavy Fire Afghanistan works. Music Gun, Silent Hill. Every game works. Every single game works. Any game that works with the Gun for IR and the aim track and the send-in, it works with this gun. Every single PC game that I have. There's 180. I have 185 games on this build. And nice. Every single one of them's working with the gun. Every single one of them. There was no. It took me, like I said, to change my settings once I had my SSD loaded up into the PC, to change my settings over from the Gun for IR to this because I was transferring over my Gun for IR build.
Right.
It took me about 10 minutes. The only thing I had to change was my main controller, and I just had the longest part it took me was loading up my arcade LIGHTGUN utility just to see what the gun ID was, and then changing it in my MAME, and then loading up the Mule Shooter GUI and setting it to that. And then I was done. I was up and playing. Well, of course, Model 3. You got to change the mouse ID in Model 3.
Right.
So, yeah. But I got to call it, guys. So thank you so much for having me live.
All right, man, you're welcome. Appreciate it, and thank everybody for joining us today. So yeah, this is just a real quick tutorial and review. I mean, it's pretty much plug and play compatible on PC. So
Yeah,
yeah, we'll dig into Pi a whole lot later. You know, once
digging in the
we
pie over the weekend, definitely.
oh yeah, real challenge. All right, you guys all have a good night. We're gonna call it. Peace out. All right, night, guys.